That's some big numbers there.
Open your helmet. So that is 2 of 3 critical questions we're going to be answering in this video today. What were the numbers? Why was that bloke not wearing a helmet? And can I hold the wheel of fellow Aussie YouTuber Chris Miller up my local KOM, otherwise known as Montville in Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia, mate. Roughly a 7-kilometre climb, and depending where you start from, it's roughly a 15 to 20 minute effort with the average gradient of 5%. And as you can see from this footage, there's actually some beautiful views of the coastline when you're not chewing on someone's wheel. And this climb is borderline carless due to the fact that the road became obsolete for drivers when a quicker road up the mountain was established many years prior. So it's perfect for cycling, and a lot of people do their 20-minute FTP tests on this climb locally, making it perfect for going deep into a hole where you often forget who you are and what you're doing. On the screen from left to right, you can see the climb course, cadence, speed, watts, heart rate, and the gradient. In terms of numbers, my max heart rate is circa 183, depending on the heat and time of year. So enjoy watching this number creep up. And my FTP is roughly 350 watts at 79 kilos, making me a 4.4 watt per kilo guy. And Chris Miller has an FTP of 340 watts, and he is only 68 kilograms, making him a 5 watts per kilo threshold beast. However, this is my home turf, so I have that advantage, and I'm also on a much lighter, faster, stiffer rim brake bike versus Chris is on a heavy disc brake piece of junk. Now, a bit of context for those of you who don't.
Yeah, I'll give you buddy context. 1 video, 2 dickheads.
But Chris can actually ride a bike, unlike me. And to put that further into perspective, Chris Miller is probably in the top 3, maybe he's even top of the same masters cycling category I'm in here in Australia, which is the 40 to 44-year-old male category. Chris has recently won Amy's Grand Fondo, Australia's biggest Grand Fondo event. He's won back-to-back Grafton to Inverells, arguably the toughest one-day cycling classic in Australia. And he's just come top 10 overall against the elites in Australia's biggest gravel event, the Dirty Warnie. And then there's me. I won a B-grade race in 2014, but I am on a rim brake bike. So the question should probably be more like, how long can I hold Chris's wheel for? Can I at least hold 5 minutes? At this point, doing over 400 watts, I wasn't so sure. Was this part of Chris's mind games, which actually started many days prior at the local Tuesday World Champs, which you can see me on here, which is, as I said, a separate day, and it is a famous World Champs loop where we get many legendary cyclists on a Tuesday morning like Caleb Ewan, Simon Gerrans, and we even get Jan Frodeno, the famous Ironman triathlete, from time to time. And you can see here the RCA White Knight, and next to him, Chris Miller. Shortly after this section of road on the Tuesday World Champs, a few days prior to this climb, we'd just gone over the main pinch that drops a lot of people, and I'm attempting to show off rolling turns along with the RCA's White Knight. And just as I roll over for another turn in quite a fatigued, dick swinging state, out of nowhere, in an unassuming spot, Chris Miller attacks and leaves me for dead. Luckily, there's enough locals strong enough to close and basically fill the gap. Otherwise, I would have been punted. And as we now slowly turn the camera back on me, you can see I am in a world of hurt, with my heart rate close to max and my pain face telling it all. Some of you might now be asking, how do I get that type of footage on a bike? Well, that's today's video sponsor, Insta360, which recently brought to market this new front mount, which solves the problem a lot of road cyclists had previously with 360 attachments, because they had integrated bars and the attachments wouldn't work properly. So now you simply add this mount like a typical computer mount, and below you have your section where you can attach lights or even more cameras if you want. And here is where you screw on the Insta360 camera like so. Then you go out, you get footage, and all you have to do to get stats on top of your footage is either run a Garmin or a Coros, and it will automatically sync your stats in the app. Literally, it has never been so easy to get amazing cycling footage and add stats with ease. I'll link to the Insta360 cameras below, including the new mount, and thank you very much for sponsoring the video and supporting the channel. So going back to the climb now, where there were definitely a lot of things going through my head. I knew Chris was obviously a lot stronger than me, but now also days prior, he was very close to making me look like a fool in front of the locals. But as you know, this is my home turf and I am on a rim brake bike. Now it wasn't too long after 5 minutes of wheel sucking that I was starting to get close to max heart rate. Typically when I'm lurking a few beats off max heart rate, I ain't gonna be hanging around for too long. But you know what's funny? When you've got a couple of cameras rolling and you've committed to making a YouTube video, what us dickhead content creators can do. While I'm clearly suffering on Chris's wheel here, let's get a gauge of what was going through his mind.
The bloody gorilla's still there. I thought Stanbury said this guy couldn't climb. I think my saddle dropped. Maybe I've got disc rub. Oh God, he's on rim brakes. I'm never gonna hear the end of this. All right. Don't panic, Chris. Just ride a bit more threshold, then we'll whack him on the next steep section. Do it for disc brakes, come on.
So let's head just over 11 minutes in. Heart rate is still too high. The watts are still too high. The sun is now in my face, and yep, I'm hurting, and there it is. The saliva is now flopping around my face. It's going side to side. I definitely feel it's flopping around too. I knew it at the time, and it's not ideal, but when you're in this headspace, when you're in a world of hurt, you're kind of thinking, can a car just like run me over right now? Make the decision easy for me. Let's end everything. Like seriously, let's just do it now.
Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! This is bigger than a national title, Chris! This is YouTube! This is YouTube! Put our VSO to bed! Everything you've got! Do it for disc brakes! Go, go, go! But you've got to make it look like you're not trying. Okay, just don't panic, but keep going!
Yeah, mate, good work. And shortly after being in that mental state, that's me, good night, Dick. Dropped off with what ended up being about 4 minutes to go. To save some face, I let the heart rate come back down about 8 beats, and then I finished off at a reasonable rate, and a few minutes later I am near the top, and there you can see old mate without a helmet, and there is Chris waiting at the top for me, the loser, to open the gate for him.
That's good, mate.
So for those playing along at home, the numbers: circa 16-minute effort, normalised power 384 watts, average power 380 watts, with an average heart rate of 175, about 8 beats away from my max. I held Chris's wheel for about 12 minutes, and the reason why that dude wasn't wearing a helmet was because...
Open your helmet. Come off, did ya?
No, I just took it off, it's too hot.
Oh, okay. Old school. Yeah.
It was bloody hot. After the climb, we regrouped with the White Knight, who wasn't playing the dickhead YouTuber games, and we then proceeded via Munting back to our hometown in Noosa. If you got value from this video today, please don't forget to give it a like. Helps the channel out. Much appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next one.